let's do this. So if you didn't pick up your new note packet and your new homework packet, green this unit. Okay, that goes up here. Also, the stamp sheet for Unit 3, the first one is out there ready to go. Looking ahead to this week, we'll have some, three units, or three sections, I should say, this week. And then this week, Friday, you're going to take a quiz. Yeah, quick formative quiz on Friday. Okay? All right. So if you haven't started already, the retrieval on, is that page 2? Page 2, the retrieval. So doing all of page 2, graphing those four. So on the 2 graphs, you're going to graph 2 lines on each one, discuss the similarities, come up with at least a similarity, a difference for them, and then solving 2 equations down there. Okay. Go for it. So we'll go with blue. That one. There. And then that's going to be here, and here, and here, and that one, and this one, and that one, and this, and that, and this, and that. Ooh, that's way too big. Make that go out a little bit. Okay. So there's that first line right there. Then we'll make this one be green. Change about that one, like it being green and like it being thinner. Agree with those 2 lines at least? Yes? Okay. Somebody give me a similarity. Yeah.
Well, they're the same numbers.
They are not the same numbers. If they were the same numbers, they'd be the same line.
They both have the y-axis as 5.
The y at axis.
Intercept.
Y-intercept. Yep, they both have a y-intercept. At 5, you said? So you were counting 5? Yep. What? You had your hand up.
Oh, I was going, how did you get the graph?
How did I get the graph? So I went with the y-intercept is the number that comes after the x. Okay, so I plotted that point, and then I used the slope as rise over run to find the other points. So on the first one, I went up 3 and to the right 1, up 3 and to the right 1, or down 3 and left 1, down 3 and left 1, down 3 and left 1. On the other one, because the slope was -3, I went down 3 and right 1, down 3 and right 1.
How come you didn't do the x?
Because the x is we don't use the x. The x is in part of the slope. Only m is the slope. Okay. They're both linear. Any other similarities? Yeah. Differences now.
One is positive and one is negative.
What's positive? What's negative?
The blue line is positive.
What? There we go. One's got a positive slope. One's got a negative slope. So that means that they're going to be going in different directions, which blue and green are going in different directions. Yes. Anything else that's different?
I guess there's different numbers.
There's different numbers. Yep, which would then make them different lines. Yep. Okay. All right. Love it. Second one. Let's go pink. So that's got a y-intercept of 4 and a slope of 2. So that means I'm going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1, left 1, down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1. And then we'll go purpley purple. Similarities.
They have the same slope.
They have the same slope.
I'm not sure this is taught, but they're both exponential.
They are not both exponential. No, neither one of them is. They're both linear. Yeah, they're both lines. Anything else the same? Okay. Not the same.
They have a positive and negative y-intercept.
So they have just different y-intercepts. Oops. I don't know why I put parentheses around y-intercept. Anything else?
They both dirt cross the y-intercept.
They both what?
Dirt cross.
No, they cross the y-intercept. They got a y-intercept. They both cross the y-axis. Anything else? No, I think there's much else.
They have a different y or x-intercept.
We could say they have different x-intercepts. Yeah. Okay. Could say that over here too, right?
Wouldn't the x-intercept be the same though?
When they're what be the same?
The x-intercept. No?
It's different. One's at -2, one's at +2. One's at looks like to be about -1 2/3, and one's at +1
Are
2/3.
you on 2? It's the 4 that has the positive and negative.
These two? Yeah, those would be y-intercepts. Because it's in y equals mx plus b.
Then how is the x-intercept different?
Because it goes through 2 different points after you graph it. If the x-intercept was the same, they would go through they would intersect right at the right on the x-axis. Okay. All right. Number 3. What will we do first for number 3? Yeah.
You toss the line and then it's going to be the same for each side, so you subtract the opposite of either of either x.
So you want to subtract 3x or you want to subtract 2x?
I did 2x.
Okay, that works for me. Gives me x minus 5 equals negative 4. What are we going to do next then?
Press add 5.
Add 5 then, both sides?
Yep.
Gives me x equals 1. What should we do then right away? Just to make sure that we're right. Plug x in on one side, plug x in on the other side, and make sure we get a true statement. Okay? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Left side is equal to negative 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 4 is negative 2. Right side is equal to negative 2. So therefore, we get it. Okay? Love it. Second one. Yeah. Okay. Well, got exponents. So let's see if we can break 16 down into whatever it is. Prime factorization is what it's called. 16 is what times what?
8,
8 times 2? Okay. 8 is what times what? 4 times 2. And 4 is?
2 times
2
2.
times 2. So 16 is really 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? Or 2 to the 4th power. Okay? So 2 to the x power would equal 2 to the 4th power. And if that's going to be a true statement, what does x have to be? 4. X has to be 4. Good? All right. Let's tell it. Let's make up a story. Okay? So Sylvia has a small pool full of water that needs to be emptied, cleaned, and refilled for a pool party. Okay? So she's got to empty it, she's got to clean it, and she's got to refill it. Are we clear on that? Yeah? Okay, we're clear on that. Okay? During the process of getting the pool ready, Sylvia did those 6 things. Okay? So she did all 6 things. Okay? Each during a different time interval. So she removed the water with a single bucket. She drained the water with a hose. She and her 2 friends removed water with 3 buckets. She filled the pool with a hose. She cleaned the empty pool, and she took a break. Okay? So she did those 6 things. Okay? Okay? You now need to create a story for her process of emptying, cleaning, and filling the pool. Okay? You have to use all 6 of these things in your process. Everybody clear on that? You have to use all 6. Okay? What you're going to do now, and I'm going to give you time to work on this. You can work on this as a table or you can work on this as an individual. I don't care. Okay? I want you to write down the order of what she did here. Then, here's the kicker. Then, I want you to sketch a possible graph showing the height of the water level in the pool over time. So this over here, hold on, I'm going to shrink up this graph a little bit. Make this get a little so I can see it all in one. There we go. Okay? So on this graph, this is the height of the water. On your graph, that axis is the height of the water. This axis is time. Okay? So you need to come up with your story, and then you need to make me a graph of the height of the water versus time on it. Clear? And then we'll talk about it. Are all of your graphs going to be exactly the same? No. Okay? Your graphs are not all going to be the same. Okay? Will all of your stories be the same? No. Okay? No. No, you're putting those 6 things that she did in your order. And then you're drawing a graph that represents your story as based off of the height of the water in the pool. Nope. Nope.
So like, do we get a specific number of how high the pool water can get?
Nope, you get to pick that too. Now, my story may be different than your story. With me? Okay? Doesn't matter what story you have. Okay? What matters, and I'll show you in the graph, you would just have your graph in a different order than mine. Okay? Okay? So I'm going to say that Sylvia first removed water with a single bucket. Okay? Right? But then she realized that's going to take forever. Right? So she took a break. And on her break, she called up 2 of her besties and said, "Get over here and help me. If you're coming to this pool party, you're helping." Okay? So then she and her 2 friends removed water with 3 buckets. With me? Then one of them said, "Hey, how about we work smarter, not harder?" And they said, "Let's empty the pool with a hose." Okay? All the way down to it being empty, right? Okay. Then they cleaned it, and then they refilled it. Okay. With me on that? Again, your story could be totally different. Okay. So my story says that I removed it with a single bucket first. Okay. So Sylvia, we'll go in different colors here now. Okay, so first off, Sylvia is removing it with a single bucket. With me on that. Okay, so that means then that you'd have little steps there, because the level of the pool would change every time she dunked the water back in, but it's not continuous, right? It's not just a straight line. With me? Okay. Then she took a break. Oops, I gotta go in a different color. Then, according to my story, she took a break. Called up her besties, and her besties came over, and then they did what? With 3 buckets, right? 3 buckets first. Okay? So now my buckets have to go for 3 of them. Right? Then it became working smarter, not harder. Oops. Oops, I want that. I want that back up here. Now come back to me. And they emptied it with a hose, right? Then they did what? Cleaned it. Right? Then they did what? And you can get back up to that line. Okay? So on your story, you need to have steps. This is called a step function. You need to have steps for, need to have small steps for when she was just doing it. Okay? You need to have bigger steps for when there were 3 buckets going. At the break time, you just need to have a horizontal. Cleaning needs to be horizontal because nothing's happening there, right? Okay. And then you needed to have a hose, so that would be a straight line. Okay? With me? The next question says, does your graph represent a function? Anybody remember what the big test is for a function? Get back to big. Anybody remember what the test is for a function? Starts with vertical, ends with vertical line test, right? To see if it's a function or not. Okay, so that means we got to run a vertical line across our graph, right? And if it only touches once, it's all good. Function, not a function. It's a function. It is a function. It's something that's called a piecewise function. A piecewise function is a function that's made up of other functions, but only you take each function on an individual, interval. Okay? So there's parts of other functions all wrapped up into one graph. Okay? Here are some other examples of that we've had over the years. Okay? All work. Okay? So, now, on the ready for more, write a story context that has one interval of increase, one interval of decrease, and one interval where the rate of change is 0 in any order, and graph your story. Okay? So, let's start with Okay, so let's start with the story. Or excuse me, start with the graph. One interval of increase, one interval of decrease, and one interval where it stayed at 0. Which one do we want first? Decrease first. Okay. Then rate of change at 0. Then agree. Okay, now we gotta come up with the story to go along with it. Anybody got any ideas?
Someone plans a vacation, so the decreases time away from home,
Okay.
and then the rate of 0 is when they stay in the vacation, and then the increase is time and distance coming back from home.
Okay. So could we say, could this be distance to vacay? Right? Okay. And then this was, you were at your location, and then this would be coming home then. Yep, I like it. Yep, I like it. Works for me. Could make another one. I just thought of this one. For me, this would be fuel levels in one of my tractors. Here's me working in the field. And here's me refueling. Okay, makes sense. Your homework this evening is in your green packet. Problems number 1 through 19 on pages 2 through 5. Okay. Hopefully, what now? Let's talk about this because this is our third unit. Some of us still haven't picked up on this concept. When should we have this homework done? You should have it done before you step into class tomorrow. Okay? Right? And that's when you need to have it done. Okay? You may have questions, and that's fine, but you need to at least have attempted it so that you can have the possibility of having questions.